Amcrest Wi-Fi video doorbell review coming your way right now. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the Amcrest Wi-Fi video doorbell. I did receive this product review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product or you want to find out more about it, the link to it will be in my video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. While you're at it, I reviewed some other Amcrest products on my channel, so be sure to check out those videos. Here's how it comes packaged in a nice and simple retail box that has a lot of really helpful information on it so we can learn more about this product. So from the front, we see it's full 1080p HD, two-way audio, motion alerts. We get two different colored faceplates. We can learn more technical information from the side, 2 megapixel sensor, 140 degree super wide angle, night vision up to 16 feet, motion detection, PIR up to 16 feet. It has mobile viewing on iOS and Android devices using the Amcrest smart home app, which we'll set up in this video. IP55 weatherproof rated, and it weighs 0.66 pounds. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. Here are all the package contents. First up, we have your documentation right here. So we have a security notice. We have a community invitation to join their user community, warranty information, and a getting started quick guide right there. Then we have our installing your Chime documentation, number 1 right there. So it's going to walk you through step by step how to set everything up and get the Chime kit installed so you can see the detailed instructions with really helpful pictures and diagrams for you. Then the second important document we have, labeled number 2, is installing the doorbell itself. So everything's in color, great diagrams, showing you step by step how to get everything installed and then how to download the Amcrest smart home app as well. If you need any further help besides this video, they do have full setup videos on YouTube as well, so be sure to check that out. Then we can see the remaining parts that we have for our kit. So we have some screws and anchors, some more screws and electrical connectors. We have our nice screwdriver that's included, which is great. Then we have our Chime kit right here that we can see. So we can see all the different sides. We even have some 3M adhesive on it to stick it to our Chime. Then we have a drill bit that's included, which is nice. And then we have some more electrical wires and connectors that we're going to need to install the Chime kit and doorbell. Here's our silver faceplate if you want to attach that to the doorbell. And then here's just the doorbell itself in black. So it's got a nice finish to it. So we got a big button to push. You can see the camera and our speaker right there. We can look at it from this side as well and the back side so we can see where we have some screws for some of our connections to the doorbell. And it looks really nice all around, decently sized as well too. If you can see that right there, it's not going to be too big and bulky on your door when you get it installed. So now let's go ahead, let's work on setting this up. So the first thing we have to install is the Chime kit. You can see on our table right here, we have a complete doorbell system. We have our transformer, our Chime, our rear doorbell, and our front doorbell wires right here to install the new smart Wi-Fi video doorbell. So we have de-energized the table. There's nothing plugged in, nothing hot. So we're free to go ahead. We can remove the cover to reveal the Chime, which is where we're going to install the Chime kit. So reach into this pink bag, pull out this wiring harness. If you can see from the camera, it only plugs in one way. So make sure you line everything up properly, plug it in place. And now we need to connect these 2 wires to the screws you see right here. It does not matter which wire goes where, but one of the wires has to connect to the trans option on your Chime. And then the second one has to connect to the front option because that's the doorbell we're going to be installing right there. Check your wiring to see, again, you may have 2 doorbells. We have a rear and a front, but in this case, I know these wires are for the front and that's the doorbell we're going to install it on. So now at this step, use the included screwdriver with the Phillips head attachment and connect those wires. Now you can see we got the wires installed and we tighten the screws back down. At this step, take the 3M adhesive and you can adhere this to the Chime. So find an area that's not in the way, adhere it to the Chime, tuck in the wires and put the cover back on. Now we have everything put back together and we're ready to install the doorbell. To install the doorbell, the first step is to remove the doorbell from the bracket. As you can see right here, we have them separated. It's as simple as using the Phillips head screwdriver to remove the included bracket screw. I do want to point out this one came with the Phillips head screwdriver, but they also include one security screw for you that you can put back in there when you complete installation to protect anybody from coming along and tampering with it. So on the other side of this bit, you can see we have the security adapter as well, so we could use that screw if we want. Now you can see that we're ready to actually attach the bracket. So don't forget, they do include 4 screws and anchors for you to use in your wall, depending on what you're going to be fastening this to. They also provide you with some additional wires in case the wires coming out for your old doorbell are not long enough. Then you can connect these to the back of this doorbell right there, and then use the included wire nuts that they provide for you to connect them to your old wire. So they give you a lot of extra pieces that you may or may not need to use. So now you can use the included drill bit as well to drill your holes. So you can mark them, remove the bracket, and then drill them. And you're ready then, once you fasten those screws, to connect the doorbell to the wires right here. So same thing, one wire goes on each side, and if they're not long enough, don't forget you do have these extensions. If you want to use them, fasten them to the doorbell first, and then use those wire nuts to connect them together. So let's go ahead, let's put the 2 wires on the doorbell and get it installed. So as you can see, I ended up doing the alternative installation right here to give us more wire to use this camera and try it out down here before we get it installed outside. But if you're going to do this in your house, make sure that you have a big enough hole drilled out right here where that bracket's going to go, so you can cram those wires and wire nuts back into your house, the framing, whatever this is being mounted to. I also want to show you, I removed the cover really quick. So you just grab it by each corner. They have this little lip right there, and you can just pull it off. Be careful not to break it, but it's really flexible, and you can pull really hard to get the cover off. So now if we wanted, we could snap on the silver one. But before I do that, I want to show you guys, they do have a micro SD card slot in here as well. So there's the micro SD card slot. If you did want to add and expand your own storage to the doorbell, you can do that right there, and then just put whatever color you want back on for the cover. So now guys, on your iOS or Android device, we're ready to power this back on and finish setup. So be sure to go ahead and download the Amcrest Smart Home app right now from your app store. So we're back now with the app downloaded, and we're on the home screen. Once you sign in or create an account, we can go ahead, select add a device. I do want to point out we have plugged everything back in, and we can see that the doorbell does have power. So at this step, we're ready to scan a QR code. So we got to scan the QR code on the back of the device. There we go. It just scanned it for us. Now we need to enable a hotspot on the doorbell. So there's a button we push on the side right above where the SD card is. They show you a picture of it right there. Go ahead, push it.
Wi-Fi hotspot is enabled.
All right, the hotspot is enabled. Now we need to select next to connect to it. So we just connected to the device hotspot, and now we can finish setting it up by entering a password and a recovery email if we want. Now we need to select our home network that we want the Wi-Fi doorbell to connect to. Please keep in mind it will have to be a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. So we just successfully connected to our network, so we can go ahead and select next. Now it's going to finish setting up the device. All right, the device was successfully set up. We can go ahead, we could rename it if we want, and then hit save. Now we can set up the time zone, hit next. There we go, everything was successful. Now we can enter right into the live view. So here it is. Ooh, that quality looks really good. And that's only standard def right now. And we got a motion alert already. You can see that coming down on the screen. So let's go ahead, let's look at some more of the settings right now. We'll start in the top right-hand corner. So you can see we have our settings gear right there. Select that. We can view device information right here. So a lot of the product info if we want. Wi-Fi signal strength. So we have a lot of different options right there. We can go back. We can select the chime we want. So here we go. We could link a digital or mechanical chime. So we have a couple different options right there depending on what we want to do. Or no chime. Let's go back out. We're going to leave it mechanical chime because that's what we have. Then we have our motion detection settings right here. Motion schedule. So we could select the day of the week, change the start and end times if we want, and we can continue to add that schedule. Hit save and you're all set with your motion schedule right there. And again, we can do that Monday through Sunday. Here's our motion range as well. So 1 is close, 6 is far. Don't forget it works around 16 feet is what the box said. So that's what far is going to be versus close is 1. So you can select a range for it. Then we have our zones as well. So that's really cool. Depending on where you place this camera, you could select your zones that you want everything to be covered in or not covered in. So we could clear the zone and then we can expand it if we just want to cover that area. Hit save and we're all good. And everything outside of that will never trigger the alert. So if you have a really highly trafficked area, you might want to do that. Clear the zone. We can go back. We can also turn it on or off right there if we want to disable motion detection. So there we go. We just turned it off. Storage status. So again, we do have a micro SD card in there. I put a 32 gigabyte micro SD card. So we could format it if we want right there. We also have cloud storage options as well if you want to activate cloud service. Then we can go back and we can see our time zone, share a device. If we wanted to share this device with friends, family members, another user right there. Firmware updates as well. We can update the firmware, view our Wi-Fi settings, reboot, and we can choose our doorbell tone and volume right here. So here we go, doorbell chime volume. Currently it's at loud. Speaker volume, currently it's at loud. Classic doorbell, 4-tone doorbell, or melody. Let's try them all. Okay, here's classic. And then here's melody. I think I'm going to leave it on classic for now. I like that one the best. Decently loud too. They'll definitely be able to hear it once they push it. You might want to even turn it down some. Then we can go back and we can see we could delete the device as well if we want. Now let's go back to the live view. Let's change the quality. So we can move it up to high def now so you guys can see how that looks. Again, this is 1080p. Looks really good to me for a doorbell. Now I know I have really good studio lighting and stuff here too, but I'm impressed so far. Really wide angle. Look at how wide it is. You can see the wall all behind me. So you're definitely gonna have a really large field of view with the doorbell. We have multi-view as well if we had multiple doorbells or other smart appliances from Amcrest that we wanted to include here, we could. We have our talk and our listen, our full screen, the HD. We could take a snapshot as well. So let's go ahead, let's take a snapshot. So we just took a snapshot. We can also record if we want. So we're recording right now. And then we can stop recording. So that's really neat. And then you can see at the bottom, we have live view, cloud recordings, and micro SD card. So here we go. We can select micro SD card. And then we can browse those clips right there. That gets saved to the card. We have our cloud recording. If we had that activated, same user interface as well as the micro SD card. We could pause, listen in. We can browse by date right here. So depending on the history that we have built up, we can filter it back to see specific days or times. And then we have that nice little timeline right here. So all those little motion alerts, it started to record. We can then play those back. So we're recording there. And then we can look, we have our motion recordings as well, these quick little clips for us from our card. So really easy to view and see if we wanted to check out any of those clips. Here it is, that's the one we just took. And now we can go back to our live view and we can see everything again in HD. Just for fun, let's go and let's push the doorbell. There we go, so the doorbell just rang. And you can see on the phone now, we're getting a call. So we can mute, accept, or hang up if we want right from our phone. So that's really exciting. Let's go ahead, let's just hang up. Now let's try out the two-way audio.
So we're testing out the two-way audio right now. You just push the talk button on the app. You don't have to hold it down or anything else. You can just start talking, and then you can push it again when you're ready to stop talking. So this has been your quick sample audio test for the two-way audio feature.
So let me know what you guys think about the two-way audio quality in the comment section below. Now keep in mind, it was at max volume. Really quick, I want to jump back into the settings to show you guys a setting that I had to change to make sure my chime would ring. So when I first rang the doorbell, I realized the chime itself didn't ring, just the video doorbell did. So now when I push the doorbell, both will ring. So you can hear both of them just went off. So in the settings tab in the top right-hand corner, select Amcrest chimes again. Link digital mechanical chime. And I initially had it on mechanical chime. That was what the default was, and that's what this is. And for some reason, it wasn't ringing it. So as soon as I changed it to digital chime, everything works great now, and they both ring. So keep that in mind if you're having any issues. Change that setting, and hopefully that will trigger your chime to start working. Now let's turn off all the studio lights and see how the camera does in the dark. So we have all the studio lights off right now, and the night vision has been activated so you guys can gauge the quality of this doorbell. I gotta point out, the doorbell ringer itself button looks so cool. The camera's not gonna do it justice, but it's got a really awesome color to it. I'm really a big fan of seeing that illuminated, especially at night in the dark. It just looks really sweet. So you guys can gauge the quality right now. We have it in HD video. Look at that wide angle again. We can see all around my studio. So there is some light leaking in from my computer monitor back there. That's illuminating it. And then we can look towards the front right now and the other side. So it's really preserving detail. There is some light, just a little bit of light coming in through that window. And then we can come back around to me. So you can see the quality. Definitely not as good as the day, but not bad at all. For night vision, you can make out my features and everything like that. You can see plenty of detail. So we have the doorbell installed outside now. You can see the real-time view showing the front porch right outside the front door. We can see the car across the street, all the houses in the neighborhood. Really detailed right now. It's 4 in the afternoon in case you're wondering. Look, we can even see that guy walking across the street right there on the sidewalk. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's actually sleeting/raining out right now. So it's definitely an overcast day. But the quality looks really good. Nothing's overexposed or underexposed. And we have such a wide field of view, it really makes a difference outside. Now it's dark outside and you can see the night vision has automatically turned on. There's no lights illuminating anything outside. It's dark. You can see one street light in the left-hand corner that's really far away. The camera's doing a great job compensating for that street light. Everything looks really good and really clear. You'll be able to see a lot of details nearby. So all the front porch is clearly covered by this camera and the night vision. So that's really nice. Really quick, while I have the app up, I wanted to show you guys, if you move back out of the app and we're on our devices screen right here, you have a quick option in the top right-hand corner. So we can see the chimes right there if we want to change the chime settings. And we also have our motion detection. Really quickly, we can just turn that on or off right there. Then we have our events tab at the bottom. So we can see our alerts and notifications right there. And then we have our account settings as well. So we have a ton of different account settings right here. Cloud downloads, my saved files. So here's our videos that we saved today. Here's some pictures that we took. We can edit those or share those if we want. They even have Amazon Alexa support right here. So here's the documentation if you want to set up Alexa, depending on the video display device that you have, like an Echo Show. They have screen grabs and step-by-step instruction for you to enable that as a skill. Then we can go back and we have more information about their refunds, billing, support, feedback, and then our notification settings as well. And there's the tones again, fingerprint verification if we want, data sharing, and we can even log out. So there's a lot of features within this app. Overall, very easy doorbell to install, and it definitely has good video quality. In the future, I'd like to see some custom controls to be able to tweak more of the settings. So if we could adjust maybe the exposure, contrast, brightness, specific resolutions, 1080p, 720, 480, depending on the application of where we have this installed. night vision controls, that sort of thing. I'd love to see some more customization within the app itself. But the doorbell looks great and it works great. I do want to point out too, I looked at some of the footage that I saved on my computer, and the quality is just not as good as I see on the phone right here, shrunken down. So I'd love to see some improved resolution. I know it's 1080p, but maybe 4 megapixels as opposed to 2, just to bump up the quality so it can continue to look better, clearer, crisper, that sort of thing, in case you ever need to see the video expanded on a computer and not just on your mobile device. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.